absolute disgrace and embarrassment to this country what we went through, and to not give them clemency so they can go home and get the treatment they need is just unfair.
A plea for pardons hours after a huge legal victory against the now closed FCI Dublin Women's Federal Prison. Good evening, I'm Amma Dates.
And I'm Dan Ashley. Thanks for joining us. That prison was shut down earlier this year after years of allegations of poor treatment and abuse of those women incarcerated there.
And now the settlement could impact the lives of those who spent years behind bars in Dublin. ABC 7 News reporter Tara Campbell spoke to one of the plaintiffs in the lawsuit who hopes this can bring about widespread change.
A legal victory Friday for hundreds of women formerly held at the Federal Correctional Institute in Dublin. The now shuttered prison has been under scrutiny for the past few years after allegations of sexual abuse. At least 8 FCI Dublin employees have been charged with abusing inmates, 5 of them pleading guilty, and 2 of them, including the warden, convicted at trial.
One of the things we wanted to do was to be heard, like you said, and we didn't give up.
Griselda Muniz is one of the 500 named plaintiffs in a class action lawsuit filed last year by a nonprofit.
We definitely raised our voices even higher with attorneys behind us and organizations, knowing that somebody did want to hear us and did want to help us.
Plaintiffs' attorneys announcing a settlement with the Federal Bureau of Prisons.
We are really excited about this really historic consent decree that was issued between our class members and the BOP. It is the first of its kind to have some sort of monitoring across over a dozen BOP facilities.
As part of the settlement, the Bureau of Prisons will be required for 2 years to oversee the treatment of the women transferred from FCI Dublin to prisons across the country.
Today is a day of accountability.
Former Bay Area Congresswoman Jackie Spear was one of the first lawmakers to visit the prison amid the abuse allegations.
It was a horrible culture. They knew where the cameras were not located, so that's where they engaged in the various rapes. The chaplain was raping these inmates in his area because there were no cameras in there.
The settlement also requires the Bureau of Prisons to release eligible plaintiffs to home confinement and halfway houses as soon as possible. The Bureau must also expunge disciplinary reports by Dublin staff intended to silence the women, reports that could otherwise prevent early release. But former inmates say the fight isn't over. They want their voices heard by the president.
We all feel if Biden can, pardon his son, he sure can pardon these women that have suffered heinous abuse at the result of government employees. So that's really their only way to get relief right now.
Tara Campbell, ABC 7 News.